So let's start seated. Finding a comfortable seat where the sit bones feel nicely, evenly, where the weight is evenly distributed. It might feel good to move forward to back and side to side, finding that place where you feel like you're in your center. And then having a sense that the pelvis is quite heavy, but that the spine can lift up and away. Letting the crown of the head reach up. Slight tuck of the chin to let the back of the neck be long. How would it feel to soften the shoulders down here? And then breathe. Eyes can be open or closed. How would it feel to soften the belly, allowing the inhale to expand the belly? How would it feel to notice your shoulders again, letting the shoulders melt down? How would it feel to let go of any tension in the fingers, letting them rest heavily on your lap? Letting the forehead soften, the jaw soften. Allowing your breath to flow as smoothly as possible from inhale to exhale and back again. A few more breaths, just being here with your body. Maybe noticing how your body feels as it breathes. Start moving gently into the head as you're ready, with an exhale, tipping the chin down towards the chest. With an inhale, lifting the gaze, lifting the chin, tipping the head up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, chin to chest as you're ready, following your breath pattern. Inhaling to lift. Letting your breath guide the movement. When you feel both directions have been done about evenly, slowly making your way back to center. Noticing sensations as you arrive. And continuing to let your breath flow smoothly and easily. The next movement will inhale and center. Exhaling to one side, turning the head as though you were looking over one shoulder. Inhaling back to center as you're ready. And exhaling to the other side. Continuing to move in this way, in this new direction. Following your breath. Next time you feel you've done both sides evenly, making your way slowly back to center. Pausing to notice sensations as you arrive. Maybe revisiting any tension in the shoulders, letting them melt down once again. Letting the neck feel long. Letting the elbows and wrists and hands feel heavy. We'll tip the head on a diagonal, so starting in center. As you exhale, let one ear move towards one shoulder. Pausing here, stretching into the opposite side of the neck. Let the stretch be very gentle. Inhaling back up to center when you're ready. Exhaling in center. Let's take a breath before moving to the other side. As you're ready, exhaling other ear towards other shoulder. Breathing space into the opposite side of the neck. Inhaling back to center as you're ready. Moving down into our shoulder rolls as you've given yourself a pause. Rolling the shoulders in whichever direction feels right. Let's switch directions of the shoulder roll. And releasing the shoulders down, releasing your hands back to the lap if they've moved. Let's move the arms a couple of times with breath, starting with hands down by your sides. With an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up as high as they feel good. That might mean you stop in a wide V, or it might mean you reach all the way overhead. And exhale, hands back down to your sides. We're not looking for any discomfort in the shoulder, just exploring the range of movement. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Last one, inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. As you complete your rounds, letting the hands come back to your lap. Giving yourself that pause, noticing sensation. Let's move down into the spine a little bit. Starting off with a side bend. Again, we'll inhale the arms up as high as they feel good going, good for the shoulders. As you exhale, we'll tip over to one side. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to the other side. Inhaling back to center. One more time on each side. Exhaling to tip. Inhaling to come back up. Exhaling to tip. Inhaling back up. Exhaling to release the hands. Let's move into a twist next. Let's cross right thigh over left. Inhaling nice and tall. As you exhale, we'll turn the shoulders towards the right, towards the bent knee. Your right hand might come back beside your hip or behind you on the chair or on the backrest of the chair. Your head might turn to look over the right shoulder if that feels okay. And breathing, letting your breath flow as deeply as comfortably possible into your body. And let's slowly unwind as you're ready, making your way back to center. Uncrossing a right leg, bringing both feet back to the mat. Pausing for a moment. And then let's cross left thigh over the right. Inhaling into a nice tall spine. As you exhale, turning the shoulders towards the left. Left hand might come back beside your hip or behind you on the chair. The gaze, your head might turn to look over the left shoulder if that feels okay. When your next inhale arrives, let's unwind, making our way back to center. Uncrossing the legs as you're ready. Pausing to notice sensations. We'll do one more twist variation today. Bringing both hands to your chest. They don't have to overlap, but they can. We'll be moving one and then the other. With an inhale, we'll be in center. With an exhale, we'll sweep right arm out to the right and turn towards the right. Inhaling to bring right hand back to center. And then exhaling in the other direction, left arm out, turning to the left. Continuing to move with your breath. Exhaling to one side. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling to the other side. One more on each side if it feels okay. Coming back to center as you're ready. Releasing the hands. Noticing sensation. Moving down now into our cat-cow variation. So arching and rounding of the spine. I'll turn sideways so that you can see what I'm doing with my back, but you can stay as you are. So with feet firmly planted on the ground, about hip width distance apart, a slight push into the ground. And imagine you could use your feet and legs and their stability to lift the chest, lift the crown of the head. Shoulders are melting down, drawing back slightly. The hands can rest on your knees or thighs. Inhaling here. As you exhale, pushing the knees or thighs away, pulling the shoulder blades apart gently, and rounding the spine as though the belly could come towards the back of the chair. With an inhale, we'll reverse, arching the spine, bringing the chest forward through the upper arms, and the gaze might lift. Exhaling to round the spine like a Halloween cat. Inhaling to arch the spine into cow pose. Moving between these two shapes, letting the breath guide the movement. The next time you've done both directions evenly, making your way back to that tall and neutral spine, back to center. Letting the hands once again rest down on your lap. And noticing sensations. Before moving down into our legs, we'll activate or come into using the core a little bit. So the idea of using the core, if you cough, it's those muscles. Those are the muscles that we're kind of bringing into action. So it's not just the front, it's all the way around. You might not feel the ones in your back, but they are working as well. So releasing that if you're holding it. You can use the cough to kind of test where you want to feel the muscular action. Bringing the hands towards your knees. And keeping your spine more or less straight. We're not rounding or arching like we did in cat-cow. We'll keep the spine in a fairly neutral shape. And start to push into your knees. And then start to draw your knees up into your hands. So we're not actually moving anything, but we're finding pressure between the palm and between the knees. Releasing when you're ready, softening the muscles of the core. Give a little cough, see if those were the muscles that were working, just to test. Then release. We'll find that action again, bringing hands to knees, pushing palms into the knees, pushing the knees back or drawing the knees up into the palms. Continuing to breathe. This is a tricky one to breathe when we've got those core muscles. Breathe up into the ribs or the chest. And then release. Finding any little bit of wiggling that would feel good. We'll do it one more time. Setting yourself up. Palms to the knees, tall spine. And then starting to find that pressure between the 2 points, between the palms and the knees. Drawing knees up towards you, pushing the palms down. Breathing as deeply as you feel okay doing. You don't have that belly expansion while we're using the core muscles. Breathing down into your ribs. And then releasing once more. Finding any softness or movement that would feel good. Now let's move down into the legs a little bit. So shifting your weight forward onto the edge of the chair so that you're still stable. Let's start by lifting the right knee, drawing the thigh up towards you, and we'll find some circles with the hip. So drawing big circles with the whole right leg, in whichever direction feels right first. And we'll switch directions. Bringing the right knee forward again. We'll keep the right thigh lifted and find some ankle circles. Switching directions when you're ready. And then we'll point and flex the foot a few times. We're releasing right foot down to the mat. And pausing for a moment, noticing sensations, differences from one foot to the other, one leg to the other. And then we'll draw left thigh up towards us. Finding circles in the whole leg, hip circles. Switching directions when you're ready. And bringing the left knee back towards center. We'll keep the left leg lifted, finding some ankle circles on this side. Switching directions when you're ready. Pointing and flexing a couple of times. And we'll release left foot down to the mat. Pausing, giving yourself that time and space to notice sensations. Before we move into our sun salutations, we'll move through a flow that involves arms and legs. So making sure you feel quite stable. With an inhale, let's sweep the arms up as high as they feel good going. As you exhale, drawing right knee in towards your chest. So we're lifting right leg and drawing it up as far as feels okay. With your next inhale, we'll stretch the leg out. So I'm now holding underneath my thigh. With an exhale, drawing the knee back in towards the chest. Inhale to release the leg and sweep the arms up as high as they feel good going. Exhaling, we're drawing the left knee in towards the chest. Inhaling to stretch the left leg forward. Exhaling to draw knee to chest. Inhaling to release the leg to the floor and sweep the arms up. Back to the right side, exhaling, right knee to chest. Inhaling, right leg forward. Exhaling, knee to chest. Inhaling to release the leg, arms sweep up. Exhaling, left knee to chest. Inhaling, left leg forward. Exhaling, knee to chest. Inhaling to release the leg, sweeping the arms up. One more round, exhaling, right knee to chest. Inhaling to stretch right leg away, foot flexed. Exhaling, right knee to chest. Inhaling to release the leg, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, left knee to chest. Inhaling to stretch left leg away. Exhaling, left knee to chest. Inhaling to release the leg and sweep the arms up. Releasing the hands back down to your lap. Pausing to notice any sensations. Now let's set up for our sun salutations. So feet can either stay where they are, about parallel, about hip width distance, or they might feel good to be a bit wider, depending on whether, as we fold forward, you would prefer the compression between belly and thigh, or the space for your torso to come through the legs. Once you have your distance, pushing the feet into the ground, letting the feet and legs feel stable, hips feel stable, crown of the head and chest are lifting. With an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up as high as they feel good going. Cactus is always an option as well. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. With an inhale, we'll find cow pose. Chest comes forward, shoulder blades pull together, gaze lifts. Exhaling to cat, rounded spine. Inhaling back to a tall and neutral spine. And exhaling to fold forward. With an inhale, we'll sweep the right arm up into a twist. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm up into a twist. Exhale, left arm down. Coming back to a tall spine. Inhale, both arms. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Pausing for a moment. We'll move through our sun salutation twice more. making any adjustments to the legs that you wish to. When your next inhale arrives, let's sweep the arms up. Exhaling, hands to thighs. Inhaling to cow, chest comes forward, gaze lifts. Exhaling to cat, rounded spine, shoulder blades spread apart. Inhaling back to a tall and neutral spine. Exhaling to fold forward. With an inhale, right arm sweeps up. Exhale, right arm comes back down. With an inhale, left arm sweeps up into a twist. Exhale, left arm comes back down. Both arms bring us back to a tall seat. Arms overhead or to cactus. And exhaling to bring hands back to thighs. Pausing for a moment, noticing sensations before we move through the last one. Making any adjustments to your stance that would feel good. When your next inhale arrives, again, let's sweep the arms wherever they're headed, cactus or overhead or wide. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Inhaling to draw chest and belly forward, shoulder blades pull together. Exhaling to round the spine like a Halloween cat. Inhaling back to a tall spine, crown of the head and chest lift. Exhaling to fold forward. With an inhale, sweeping right arm up into a twist. Exhaling, right arm down. Inhaling, left arm up into a twist. Exhaling, left arm down. Coming back to a tall seat, both arms sweep up. Exhaling, hands back to thighs. Pausing for a moment, noticing sensations in the body. Noticing any difference in your breath pattern. Let's come all the way up to standing. Any way that feels good for you. Whether that's just coming to a standing or through chair, your choice, dealer's choice. We'll move through our standing flow this morning. So setting yourself up so you have access to the seat of the chair. And placing yourself so that you're a comfortable distance away from the seat. When you bend over, your palms can comfortably reach the support. And then coming back to stand once you've got your distance measured. Noticing your feet on the floor, maybe lifting the toes and placing them back down. If you can, or if it feels okay, spreading the toes apart a little bit, widening the base of your feet. And notice if you've got more weight on the left or the right, evening out the weight. Is there more weight in the ball of your foot or the heel of your foot? Evening that out as well. Letting the hands rest down by your sides. And when you're ready with an inhale, let's sweep the arms up as high as they feel good going. Exhaling to bend the knees, reaching down the legs as far as you can. Inhaling to straighten the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend them again. Again, inhaling to straighten. And exhaling to bend. Inhaling to come all the way back to standing. And releasing your hands down by your sides. One more time. Inhale to sweep arms up. Exhaling to bend forward, bending the knees, reaching down the legs. Inhaling to straighten the legs any amount. Exhaling to bend. Inhaling to straighten. Exhaling to bend. This time with your inhale, bring palms to the seat of the chair. And pause here, continuing to breathe in this halfway lift or tabletop position. Stepping the right foot back, taking as big a step as feels okay. And come up onto the right toes. And then stretch the right heel towards the floor, having the intention of making that heel really heavy, stretching through the back of the right leg. How would it feel from here to draw the chest forward, maybe looking forward, as though your heart were shining towards the front? Right heel heavy, chest shining forward. One more full breath cycle here. And releasing the head and chest, releasing the right foot, let's step forward again. Pausing in this halfway lift, it might feel good to bend one leg and then the other. And then coming back to your middle position, your neutral position. Both hands on the chair. Let's step the left foot back, big step. Coming up onto the toes. And then letting the heel be so heavy as though we're reaching towards the ground. From here, how would it feel to draw the chest forward, maybe the gaze? Letting left heel be heavy, letting the heart shine forward. One more full breath cycle here. When you're ready, releasing the head, releasing the chest, and stepping left foot forward. Coming back into this halfway lift position. Again, it might feel good to bend from one knee to the other. And let's exhale to bend both knees. Inhaling all the way up to standing, arms might sweep up. Exhaling, hands back to your sides. Pausing for a moment as you arrive back in standing, noticing sensations. Beautiful. Finding any wiggling once you arrive standing that might feel good. Maybe the hands could use a little attention. Let's pause for the hands. You're interlacing all your fingers, but you can keep the fingers kind of pointing away from each other. And then just wiggling the fingers to massage between sort of the base of the fingers. If it would feel good to sort of close the fingers and move into the wrists, we could do that as well, moving in both directions. Then releasing this clasp, shaking out the fingers, and then switching the clasp. So if the left thumb was on top, the right thumb will now be on top. The way that sort of feels a little different. Same thing, we'll wiggle fingers between, sort of at the base of the fingers. Then closing the fists a little bit, moving into the wrists. Switching directions. Shaking out the hands when you're ready. A little bit of stretching for the palms. Using one hand, pulling back on the fingers if this feels okay, nothing too intense. And then stretching into the palm. If it feels okay to stretch the arm out, that's an option as well. So anywhere along this continuum, the elbow could be bent, the elbow could be straight, whatever feels right in your body. Then switching hands when you're ready. One hand might feel different than the other. And releasing, shaking out, we'll bend the fingers the other way. So fingertips face, we're kind of pushing on the back of the hand, stretching into the wrist a little bit. Again, if it feels okay, this can be less of a bend or more of a bend, depending on what feels good in your body. And switching hands. Shaking out the wrists, shaking out the fingers. We're going to incorporate this next one into our next standing poses if it feels okay, if your hands aren't needed for balance. So we'll bring the tip of the first finger to the thumb, and then the middle finger to the thumb, tip of the ring finger to the thumb, and tip of the pinky to the thumb. So that's the sequence from a first finger out towards the pinky. Just tapping one finger at a time towards the thumb. That can be a little bit of pressure, but feels okay. Okay, releasing this, shaking out the hands one last time. Let's step the feet wide, pointing the toes out towards the edges of your mat. And then finding a bit of bend in the knees, finding goddess pose. So this could be done on the chair as well, with knees wide, with sit bones on the chair. If you're standing, letting the sit bones feel heavy and letting the heart feel high. We can start in prayer just to find our position. And then let's reach arms into cactus. And from here, find that touching the fingers together. Tip of each finger to the tip of the thumb, maybe 3 times. Remember to keep breathing. Then releasing the hands, releasing the legs, maybe bringing them in towards each other a little bit. Finding a bit of wiggle. If you're seated, bring the legs back together, and then we'll find that same thing once more. Moving the feet apart. Letting the legs be wide. If you're standing, now bending into the knees any amount, whether that's a deep bend or a more shallow bend. Starting with hands in prayer. Find your breath. With an inhale, we'll sweep arms out. Keep breathing. Touch the tip of the first finger and each finger in turn to your thumb. About 3 times. Let your breath flow as smoothly and easily as possible. When you're ready, releasing the legs, releasing the hands, bringing the feet back together. Finding any wiggling that would feel good. Beautiful. Let's find our chair downward dog. So either your choice, level of downward dog of your choice. Whether it feels good to use the seat of the chair. So that would be a little bit lower. Knees can be bent. Sit bone reaching away, crown of the head reaching the opposite direction. Option 2 would be using the backrest of the chair. Same idea, tailbone in one direction, crown of the head in the other. For a seated variation, knees can be a little bit wide, and it would be a forward fold, letting the head be heavy. So your choice, which down dog feels best to you. Letting the sit bones sort of reach in one direction if they're on the chair, letting them feel heavy, and reaching the crown of the head away. If you're standing, it might feel good to sway from one leg to the other, wiggling your tail. Then as you're ready, slowly coming back up. Finding that neutral spine, crown of the head tall, chest lifted, shoulders softly melting down. And we'll make our way to seated. We'll make our way through a loving kindness meditation to close today's practice, which is a little longer, so I've given us a little more time. Setting yourself up in your neutral spine, your tall spine. Nothing too rigid. Let the shoulders be soft. Checking in with your forehead and jaw. Might feel good to take a deep breath and sigh it out. Maybe as you sigh, letting the shoulders melt down a little more heavily. As many times as feels good to do. And when you've sighed and taken your deep breaths, settling back into the natural rhythm of your breath. Noticing the connection your body has between you and the floor, you and the earth. Hands can stay where they are or come to your heart or in prayer position. With our loving kindness meditation, we send the wishes out to different people in our lives, but we always start with ourselves. You can repeat silently after me in your head if you like. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live my life with grace and ease. Next, we'll bring to mind somebody for whom we're very grateful, someone we love very much, have much, much gratitude for. And with this loved person in mind, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live your life with grace and ease. The next person we bring to mind is somebody neutral. You don't have strong feelings one way or the other for this person. It might be a neighbor you don't know well, or the male person, somebody you haven't developed any strong feelings about. And with this neutral person in mind, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live your life with grace and ease. We next bring to mind somebody difficult. This could be somebody we're angry or annoyed with, somebody we have an argument with. With this difficult person in mind, may you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live your life with grace and ease. Our final wish goes out to all beings, all sentient beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live their lives with grace and ease. Close practice, you could bring hands, leave them exactly where they are, or maybe bring them into prayer position. With gratitude to you for allowing me to guide you through today's practice. With gratitude to all the students and teachers who have come before us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Thank you for joining me today.